There are certain aspects of gaming culture, whether that's digital or analog, that everybody knows. You probably played it, and it's kind of interesting. A perfect example of this was being a miniature wargamer when X-Wing miniatures dropped back in the day when X-Wing miniatures came out. We were playing Wings of Glory nonstop. Love Wings of Glory. Fantastic war game. I've pushed up Wings of Glory Tactica and overviews. We're going to leave it at that with the playlist because I don't want to hijack this vlog. But I knew that Wings of Glory was a solid system. So when X-Wing miniatures dropped, and I knew it was based, the flight path system they're calling it, but it's just, it's Wings of Glory reskinned with dials. Once I knew that, I knew it was a solid system. Jumping into X-Wing expanded so fast because everybody knows Star Wars. If you're a Star Wars enthusiast, then the factions, the tech, everything. Or even if you're like someone like myself, where I know Star Wars. If you quizzed me on it, I think I could hold my own, but I'm certainly not an expert on it. But I can jump into that narrative. It's like kind of cool. I know it. That was the allure, and that was the power, perhaps squandered power, that's a vlog for another time, of X-Wing miniatures. I say that as an example because people that weren't looking for a war game saw X-Wing, saw the ships, and are like, I'm in. So there's certain things as a gaming culture that you're aware of, and that's an easy sell. That's a license to print money. I posted in a mailbag vlog a while ago, where's my Diablo the board game? Where is it? Diablo's a cash grab. I mean, the digital mobile is just a total cash grab. Let's port that over to analog. Have the core, sell packs for $19 each of cards that are random item gear, sell seasonal passes. Just where is Diablo licensed to print money? The rules don't even have to be that good. They have to just be barely passable. There's a lot of IPs out there. There's a lot of narratives out there that could take advantage of this. And, I thought of this, previously we were exploring some board game Tactica and Zombicide Invader, Zombicide Black Plague, Zombicide Modern. It works because the narrative and the theme is there. And I was thinking for a moment, so this leads into the question, what board game properties, IPs, or narratives would you like to see? Do you think if they just put this out there, if they could make this happen and it was halfway decent, the rules and the presentation, it's insane. My thought was, where's Halo? Halo in a Zombicide universe works like crazy. Now, look, to get all those actors together would be very, very, very hard. But, there's certain companies out there that somehow are working that magic, like Steamforged. They've secured a lot of titles. I love Dark Souls. I love Zero. I love God Tier. They've really managed to take that experience and not only capture the game itself, but actually have really fun and engaging rules. So they've got that double and triple threat. There are companies out there that could do it, but imagine that. Halo. So have two factions, Covenant and Earth Forces. Okay, you could play a Spartan, you could play Master Chief. I'd like to play an Elite, right? You have your actors, your characters in the game. Right away, you could do co-op. You're there on Halo, and the Flood is everywhere. You could do co-op. Or you could also have head-to-head mode where one player or one group controls Covenant, one group controls Earth Alliance, Earth Forces, and you go head-to-head. The Flood itself, right? Zombicide is a simplistic game in that it works so flawlessly. You spawn lots and lots of zombies. They overwhelm the board. They kind of go absolutely crazy with that stuff. Well, from that perspective, right there's your Zombicide. Flood, right? The different types of flood. You could have the Flood Abomination. It could be like base Flood, corrupted Flood, either Earth Forces or Covenant, then, the Abominations, and have the boards be Halo itself. Surface, the vaults, the different temples, the different areas. Like, wow, man, that I would love to play that game because I've always been a Halo enthusiast. But that would pull in board gamers because they'd be like, well, good mechanics. It's kind of cool for Halo, right? It'll be a fun game to play. That'll pull in people that are digital players. They'll look and say, oh, Halo, right? Jump in with that analog. I would love to play a game like that. I won't say 3D printers, fire them up and just reskin the rules. That's a possibility, right? That would be a complete possibility. A friend of mine, he did an Alien reboot. Now, you had the Aliens versus Predator. You had the board game. It was okay. I have the first edition and the second edition. The rules are a little bit okay. It's more of it seems like it's more of a war game, miniature game that was readapted for a board game. But of course, navigating that Protos, they produced it, right? Navigating that whole IP and everything, and it's challenging. But I had a friend who printed tons and tons of Colonial Marines. He's like the 3D print master. When we need like a D&D character, he's printing up for me right now some Hero Quest Heroes of the Lance, Dragonlance characters that we're going to reskin for Hero Quest. And he's even matching the color, like fantastic. So he just printed up tons and tons of aliens, tons of Colonial Marines. And he's like, what the heck am I going to do with this? Like, I've got like 60 or 70. And he essentially just borrowed the Zombicide type rules. You've got sectors where things spawn. You've got spawn points, and it's a fast and furious type game because it's looking to fight and deal with these monsters on that. So certain rule sets work really well, and you can plug in the narrative. Where's Halo? Halo would be a license to print money, but it would require that navigation. So turning it over to my fellow board gaming and wargaming enthusiasts, because more and more, look, that line is becoming so blurred. Jumping in with that, Fritz, I'm with you. Halo, it would be a lot of fun. I'm in. Core, Season 1, Season 2, X-Pack, token upgrade, extra characters, premium characters. Like, I'm in. But outside of that, and I already said Diablo, what titles out there do you think where it's just like, if they just put this out there and it was halfway decent, it's just a license to absolutely print money?